We're very grateful to God to be in the land of the living. Acknowledge the fact that God has given us another chance to get it right. And today I come today to say that I'm happy in Jesus alone. It is in Him that we have our move and our being. Come today to say to someone today, be of good courage. God is still on the throne. God is still in charge. God gave us life, and God has an expectation on all of our lives that we live to the abundance of the thing that He has granted us. And again, I say that I'm happy in Jesus alone. To you who may be viewing this recording at this time, I want to try and encourage all of the Lord's people in a difficult time such as this. I know that many of us, or at points in time, have come to the point of losing our faith. We're losing that what God has blessed us with. But I want to encourage you that God will not bring us this far to leave us. As I record, thinking of Joshua when Moses has died, and God called Joshua to rise up and go over Jordan. Joshua had been Moses' servant, but now it come time for Joshua to be God's leader. And being a leader at the time when God told Joshua to rise up and go over Jordan, I heard the Lord say to Joshua, as I was with Moses, I will also be with you. I heard him say to Joshua, be of good courage. And I think that's what we need in these days and time, in the midst of all of this upheaval, in the midst of all of our trouble, in the midst of dying and sickness, we stand in the need of encouragement. And if there's anybody who can encourage, it should be the proclaimers of the Word of God. I know that somehow or another that there are many of you who seem like the voice of those who are proclaimers of the Word seem to be shut up. But God's Word will never be shut up, nor will it be shut out. So as I talk to you today, I want you to focus on a thought that I have. And that thought today is what I call look and live. Look and live. And this is found in the book of Numbers. In the book of Numbers, the 21st chapter of that book, verses 4 through 9. Numbers 21, verses 4 through 9. I'll read it from the Life Application Bible, and if you desire to read with me, you can do so. But verses 4 of that 21st chapter of Numbers said, they traveled from Mount Hor along the route to the Red Sea to go around Edom. But the people grew impatient on the way. They spoke against God, and they spoke against Moses and said, why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the desert? There is no bread, there is no water, and we detest this miserable food. Then the Lord sent venomous snakes amongst them, and they bit the people, and many Israelites died. The people came to Moses and said, We sinned when we spoke against the Lord and against you. Pray that the Lord will take the snake away from us. So Moses prayed for the Lord, for the people. And the Lord said to Moses, make a snake and put it on a pole. And anyone who is bitten can look at it and live. So Moses made a bronze snake and put it upon a pole. Then when anyone who was bitten by the snake, that person would live. So I come today to say to someone who listened at me, who are contemplating suicide, who are contemplating giving up, who are contemplating drugs and anything that will keep you. I want to say to you, look and live. Look and live. As I think about this text, think about when it was written in this Numbers account, being one of Moses' law book, I think about how the children of God was complaining about how God had blessed them, but yet still they complain and they complain. When you read this book of Numbers, you would notice that Israel was constantly complaining about water. They was constantly complaining about food. They were constantly complaining about going back to where God had brought them from. It's dangerous to be complaining over what God has blessed you with. In the psalmist, in the 78th Psalm, you will notice we can learn about the source of Israel complaining. In Psalm 78, verse 8, the people of God's spirit were not faithful to God. There's a danger in being unfaithful to God. In Psalm 78, verse 10, they refuse to obey God's law. They resort to complaining instead of obeying. Also in Psalm 78, verse 11, they forgot the miracle God has done for them. People can easily forget from which and where God has brought them from, and they resort to complaining. Our complaining often has its roots in one of these sources that I just read to you. Be careful how you complain about the blessing that God already has placed upon you. If we deal with the causes of our complaining, it will not take hold and grow in our life. You get tired of people sometimes coming to you all the time complaining about life difficulty. We got our priorities in the wrong place. We rely and we depend on man more than we depend on God. We depend on humanity instead of acknowledging divinity. It is God, my brothers and sisters, who have blessed us. It is God who have kept us. And I want to encourage anybody out there that while you're going through these difficult times, you need to learn how to look up and live. I refuse to die. I refuse to die because I have too much to live for. And I believe today the word said there is power, there is life, and death is in the power of the tongue. And so today I come to speak life to you that I will live and not die. I will live because God has blessed me with so much to live for, and I refuse to give up at such a time as this. Be careful how you go into your closed-knit place and how you give up on God and you start relying on drugs cigarettes and alcohol and all of these other kind of things that will quickly destroy you. Look to the hills from which cometh your help. Don't know about you, but my help cometh from the Lord. Here it is in our text today as we talk about look and live. Look and live. In the 21st chapter of Numbers, verse number 6, the Lord sent venomous snake among them. The people of God was complaining to Moses. They was complaining to God. And sometimes God gets tired of our complaining. Instead of asking God for mercy, we complaining about difficulty. God used these venomous snakes to punish the people for their unbelief and their complaining. What you complaining so much about? Because you know people when they start ducking and dodging you, because they know here come that old complainer. And you know, sometimes we get tired of people complaining to us. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Can you say it? Take it to the Lord in prayer. And if you do that, God will work your situation out. God sent these snakes to punish the people for their complaining. During that time, in that day and time, the desert of Sinai has a variety of snakes. Somebody shout snakes. It has a variety of snakes. And you know, in this day and time, snakes just ain't crawling no more. Too many of us who have become snake, and we begin to walk on 2 feet, and we got that venomous in us that causes others to die because of our snakeness. God sent snakes, and the time was difficult for snakes. Some snakes in that day and time was hiding in the sand, and they attacked without warning. Snakes will do that to you. A snake will attack you when you're attending your business. A snake will attack you when you are not thinking nothing about a snake. He'll hide and he'll wait, he'll lurk, and at the appointed time, he will strike. And he'll do it without warning. And in that day, both the Israelites and the Egyptians had a great fear of snakes. An old preacher said many years ago, beware of snakes. Beware of snakes, because they'll come quiet, they'll come sizzling, they'll come looking beautiful, but they are poison. Some people in here today and out there today, yes, don't hold your head down. You are hooked up with a snake. You're hooked up with a poisonous that causes you not to go where God is trying to take you. A bite by a poisonous snake often meant to slow death with intense suffering. Intense suffering. And here we are in this 2020 year where our nation and our world has been bitten by a snake, by a poison virus that causes us to shut down. Those of our places of worship has been closed. Manufactories have been closed. People have gone home. You can't come close no more because there is a social distance. There is people that you gotta stay away from. There are places you gotta stay away from. We have to go into quarantine. We gotta go into places where we have to hide from the world. But we pray that this because we need to start looking and living. Here it is in our text again. We notice that in verse 8 and 9 in our text, when the bronze snake was hung on the pole, the Israelites didn't know the fuller meaning of this. They didn't know that that was futuristically speaking, that one day Jesus would be our example. It would be Jesus in our example. According to John chapter 3, verse 14 and 15, it says, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. And then it said that whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have eternal life. Here is Moses saying to the people as he lifted the bronze serpent in the wilderness. He says, you look up and there you see this. Even though you've been bitten, even though you're suffering, even though you're going through what you're going through, look up at the bronze serpent. And when you look, you'll start living. Whatever is wrong with you, whatever has caused you suffering, all you got to do is look and live. And I'm happy today that whenever the people of God will learn how to look up, Jesus said, if I be lifted up from the earth, I'll draw all men unto me. You know, life is based upon not us looking downward, but we gotta look up. According to the writer, Hebrew writer said that looking unto Jesus, who is the author and finisher of our faith. I don't know about you, but I can't depend on man. I can't depend on my money. I can't even depend on my friend, because many times friends will walk away and leave you. I'm going to preach. If y'all pray out there, I'm going to say to someone, look up and live. Because when you look up at the bronze serpent, the Bible says your belief system got to kick in. Your belief system got to demonstrate that you was obedient in your looking up. There is no power in the bronze serpent on the pole. The power is in your belief. And I don't know about you, but I believe that if I look up to the Lord, who is the author and finisher of my faith, he will heal the land. Because I heard the Bible say in 2 Chronicles 7 and 14 said, if my people which are called by my name should humble themselves and pray, seek my face and turn from their wicked way. I believe that the land needs to be healed, but the only way healing is going to take place is that the people start praying to God, praying God, but at the same time believing in God of our salvation. I don't know about you, but I'm going to look to the Lord today. I'm going to look because I want to live. I said, I want to live. Come here as I get ready to close this thing here. There was Paul, you know Paul, when he was on the ship trying to go to Rome, and Paul encountered being battered by a storm. You know the story. He was battered by a ship being broken by a storm. shipwreck. But I see Paul, after being in shipwreck, making it on broken pieces. Here's what happened when Paul came upon an island. On an island, I like to call it a place of refuge. When Paul came upon this island, this place of refuge, this place of safety, Paul was there with those on the island. He was building a fire. And you know, Satan will always send his snakes at you when you're busy, when you're building, when you're trying to do that for God. And Paul was building a fire, and then he was busy doing the work. But as he built the fire, out of the fire came a snake. When the snake came out, it bit Paul on his hand, and the people were standing around looking at Paul. And don't you know, folks are looking at you today. They are waiting on you to lay down and die. But you can't, you see, Paul, my brother and sister, when the viper snake bit him, he wasn't worried because he knew who he was, and he knew whose he was. Instead of Paul laying down and dying, folks are looking for you to lay down and die. Instead of him dying, all he did was shook it off. Somebody ought to say, shake it off. He shook it off. And the viper snake fell in the fire, and the folks were waiting for Paul to lay down and die. But let me tell you something. Sometimes God will allow us to get bit so he can use us better. You see, the hand that the snake bit Paul, the same hand, he put healing in that hand, and he learned to shake off what it is that was biting him. So that's what I'm saying in my conclusion here. You need to shake it off. Shake that stuff off. Shake off being afraid. Shake off anxiety. Shake off problems. Shake off fakey folks. Shake it off. And then once you shake it off, keep looking up. Look up. And if you look up, you'll sure enough live. I want to live. I said, I want to live so God can keep on using me. Hey, all right. I said, yeah. He's all right. I tell the world that Jesus, he is my friend, and every day I'm looking up to him. When problem comes, I'm happy, y'all. When problem comes, I'm learning how to look up. When folks misunderstand you, I learn how to look up. When the snake start crawling all around me, though I may get bit sometimes, but I'm gonna keep on looking up. And I heard the Bible say, he that keepeth Israel neither slumber or sleep. But my God is not sleep. Somebody asked a question, where is God? I hear people say, I've got all this problem, but where is God? He's in the same place when they crucified his son Jesus. He's in the same place when Jesus died. Ain't he all right? Hey, shout, yeah, he's all right. I gotta quit, y'all. May God bless you. May heaven smile upon you. But don't stop